Ryan Scotty C show. I might need flowers and two beeps. You're listening to the Ryan Scotty C show because we're not starting over. I don't care what you think. I'm Scotty C.
And I'm Ryan Masuda, and thank you, Scotty C, for my early Christmas present, switching it up there, giving me top billing.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's what I used to always do, and then I realized I hadn't been doing that, and then today I was like, I'm saying Rye first. It was a very conscious thought. As I was walking back from coffee, I was like, have I been saying Rye first? Like, it's not like I go back and listen to the shows or anything productive like that. I just had a sneaking suspicion that I've been saying my name first. And you know what? I didn't feel comfortable doing that today.
You truly are in the spirit of giving, Mr. Clifford. And I will say though, I mean the Scotty C and Rye show just rolls off the tongue a little bit easier than the Ryan Scotty C show. My name's just kind of awkward there in the first, one syllable.
The Rye and Scott.
It's just so abrupt.
It is. It's a very short name that no one believes is real.
No.
Or thinks is Ray.
Yeah, it's always short for something. What we're not so sure about, but it's short for something. How are you today, my friend?
I am good. I got the day off. I got tomorrow off. So I'm kicking it, very very relaxed. Didn't go out too hard last night because of reasons I shouldn't get into. Anyways.
Whoa, no. Tell us more, Scott.
No. I was just being a good kid after maybe a couple of nights of not being such a good kid. But, so yeah.
Did you have to stay outside?
Well, they let me sleep on the back porch at least. They didn't. They let me in the front and just immediately put me out back. But no, that's not true. So yeah, that was good. It was a good night, nice and relaxing. The best part about my place is, I've said this before, is, even if I get a little restless when I'm trying to be good, all I have to do is pop outside, walk 3 feet into a bar, take a quick shot, and then immediately come back into my apartment. And it's fantastic.
Are you in kind of like a shopping district, or is it more residential, and is a bar in very close proximity to you?
So like pretty much, so I live in Lower Haight, and Upper Haight is where like all the gross hippies are. And Lower Haight is like a stretch of businesses and restaurants on like the ground floors essentially, or at least for like the first 2 blocks, and then it's mostly residential past that. But there's like 4 solid blocks of like random clothing stores and restaurants, and bars, and just randomness, like a couple of random ass record stores. It's pretty cool. It's pretty unique little neighborhood. And but yeah, handful of bars and Molotovs. I can just like literally just less than 2 minutes for me starting to walk down my stairs inside with a shot and out the door.
So the lower area has more culture, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, a real kind of culture, because the Upper Haight's like all, trying on the old hippie movement and stuff. Like the corner of Haight-Ashbury. That's where all the gross street kids hang out, and just a bunch of fucking weed shops and like just like cheesy, clothing stores, and all the bars up on in Upbeat are also like just not that fun. There's a couple cool ones. One of my favorite restaurants is actually up there, Olympic. But anyways, long story short, I can get drunk without having to stay out. Well, I guess anyone can do that, but I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Well, what you're trying to say is that you didn't have to sleep out back, and you also were allowed to stay within the 4 walls. You didn't have to go outside, because I imagine it's getting a little chillier over there at this point.
Yeah, temperatures slightly dropped the past couple of days, even though during the day, like, it's been a little warm, but at night the temperatures finally like really drop, and and with the rain finally coming in a little bit, it's feeling a little wintry. But I'm still wearing shorts and a hoodie right now. My window's cracked open because the Christmas trees smell strong. So,
You can actually smell the Christmas tree.
I mean, yeah, when it's right in front of me.
Well, a little backstory for those that don't know: Scotty's sense of smell is a bit impaired.
Yeah,
One,
it doesn't work. It's useless.
so if Scott can smell something, that means it's pretty pungent, and it's also a small miracle. It's a Christmas
Yeah.
miracle.
Yeah, no, really though, it's really bad. Out of all the senses to lose, it's probably like the least important one, but it really does affect my life, I swear.
Do you wanna give any backstory as to how you cannot smell?
Well, there's two hypotheses. Uh, One is when I was 3, I was running around the house like a little idiot. I tripped, hit the corner of our brick fireplace, and pretty much ripped my nose across the bridge completely apart. Um, Thankfully, I don't remember this at all because I was so young. And I guess it was like some like gnarly snowstorm out, and my mom was like trying to hold me, and my brother had to shift because she was holding me as they're driving in the snow to get me to the hospital. But anyways, crazy story. Sorry, guys. And or the second hypothesis is just growing up around smokers my entire life, my nose just naturally just shut off or was ruined and is yet to reawaken. I think it's just like a sleeping giant. Like I swear, like if I keep training myself with wine, it's just gonna open up one day, and I'm gonna have the sickest palate known to man.
So
But
I feel like you've really missed an opportunity here to become a major spokesperson for the anti-smoking, anti-tobacco people, where you really could just have prostituted yourself to this cause.
my mommy smokes, so I can't smell.
I
Like
mean,
seriously, no one would feel like less. Everyone would like, all right, cool, bro. Like, cool story, Hansel.
we we would have to really, really make you very innocent looking. Like
Yeah.
we'd have to create this whole backstory on how it just absolutely ruined your life.
Think this beard came from nowhere? Used to be a good kid, good clean shaven kid.
Now I can't smell anything, so I hang out in the gutter and I hang out with degenerates.
Yeah, and my filthy beard that I can't smell.
Well,
Ah,
that's two theories for the people to ponder over. I will let them decide which one they think is the real reason behind Scotty. But as a former roommate of Scott's, I can attest that he cannot smell. He's really not lying.
yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. I need like a smellometer or something to like just let me know what's happening around me. I need
Like
something.
for Breeze.
Yes, mainly Febreze for my room.
Although as a cat owner, that's probably going to have its benefits because cats are stinky little creatures.
Yeah, dude. Their poop smells bad. I mean, I can smell that poop when I'm cleaning it. I can't smell it otherwise. That's why I have to I have to look at that cat box. Otherwise, like if I forget to look, I don't think anything's happened in there. And the fact is, cats poop every day. Like there's not a day that they don't poop. So yeah, it sucks.
It's their Christmas present to us every day.
Yeah, it's my humbling moment of zen every day when I just pick up a small creature's poop, just to really let me know where I'm at in life.
Just when I think I've made it.
Nope, cleaning up poop. At least I'm not wiping a human's ass. I mean, I guess there's that.
There is that, and I don't want to wipe a human's ass anytime soon. I got enough problems wiping my own
It's difficult enough, God damn it.
ass. Yeah,
You're
and
married now. You're probably being pressured to have children.
actually, fortunately, I'm not, and the wife is similarly on board with that distinction. We are not trying to pull in a Dito and Megan, and that within 3 months of being married, we are pregnant. Shout
Are you
out to
sure that wasn't a shotgun wedding?
yeah. Did anyone actually see Megan drinking at that event? Maybe that was the reason they got also hammered, was so he couldn't pick up on that.
That's funny.
But yeah, she should be doing God, probably about 6 weeks now. So
It's
Andrew will
crazy.
probably be ending his friendship with Joey Garrett and myself very shortly.
Oh, yeah, you'll never see him. It's okay. One of my best friends, his baby's due next month, so that's terrifying.
I feel like once you cross that kid's threshold, it's just everything in your life revolves around other couples that have children, and you just talk about kid things, and go to the park.
Ugh. Like I had such a big cringe inside my body.
Well, you can be rest assured that don't worry, your boy ain't going down that road. I am way too selfish. I'm sorry.
Yes. At this point, yes.
I mean, I still have not made it out to San Francisco. I still have many places that I want to go and do stupid things in, and
Dude,
two cats are kids enough, right?
right? That's like plenty. That's plenty of energy put forth. And you know what the thing I don't understand is like working in the service industry is these families on vacations who are dragging along a 2-year-old. And it's just like, yo, this kid's not gonna remember shit of this trip. Like, why are you even bothering?
That's a very good point. That is.
like why? Why are you making this trip miserable for yourself by dragging around a 2-year-old?
Yeah. You're not getting any sleep on your vacation because you got a
Yeah,
two-year-old, and the two-year-old's not going to remember what a little jerk it was.
right. And then the parents try and tell me all the things the kid saw today, and I'm just like, all right, what? Are you serious? Kid gets nothing from this. Absolutely nothing.
You're really, really overestimating what this child is seeing. And if you really think it's that important, you should bring the kid to talk to me because I'll give it a dose of reality.
Yeah, if your kid's so smart, then we need to have a sit-down chat right now.
Yeah. Well, speaking of a dose of reality, a friend of well, I'll just say he's a friend of the pod, even though you are a Portland Timbers fan. One Marco Papa of the Seattle Sounders was in town this past week to accept Univision's Player of the Year, the first Player of the Year award offered by the channel. And I was thinking, this guy's got a higher profile, might be toned down a little bit from when we used to go out when he was a part of the Chicago Fire. No, no. It was It was everything you would expect from a night of Marco, his father, Joey, his father, and myself. They,
Awesome.
yeah, and
As much as I want to boo him, I won't. I
well,
won't, because I get it. He's a rad dude. Got a rad season. We're a pretty good team. Sorry.
he punched Joey in the face.
Oh,
Joey,
well, never mind. I'm going to applaud that, man.
Joey body slammed his father.
What?
Yeah, there were some things that happened that would probably frown heavily on his Player of the Year.
Shenanigans. Family shenanigans.
Yeah, it was. Apparently, there was. Now, Joey and his family has just moved into a new house a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and there was a bit of a no holds bar wrestling slash fighting match because Marco's dad is the one who taught Joey's dad how to fight, and anyone who knows the Terminator knows that the guy knows that the guy's a bit of a badass, and so this guy is the one who taught him, and so he basically had four Guats with some ranging martial arts training in one place with some alcohol and I don't know about any narcotics, but involved. So this is, use your imagination, and I don't think anyone in the new neighborhood is going to be coming by that house anytime soon.
Awesome. Must sounds like a great time.
It would have been all that was missing was you, man. It would have.
I would have been hiding in the corner, like trying not to make eye contact.
There was, yeah, there. I'm not gonna say anything more, but the night would have been a perfect fit for Scott William Hayes Clippers.
Dude, hey, yo, has Marco got any interest from overseas?
Not particularly since he came back from Holland. He's actually really
Yeah.
happy in Seattle, and he's been saying, like the people in Seattle, like the fans are just absolutely crazy. He did mention how the Portland fans and like that derby is absolutely insane, and he's like, the fans in Seattle are comparable to anywhere in Europe from his experience. So he's very happy in Seattle.
Yeah, because we said this before, like the Sounders have like the 12th highest attendance in the world for soccer. So
The thing I did find interesting was I spoke to him at length about the MLS playoff system in which the higher seeded team plays on the road for the first leg, and also the difference of that artificial turf up at Century League Field. And he agrees that the playoff system is complete dog poop, and that it really
Right.
doesn't incentivize teams to finish strong, and it really kind of it encourages you to not finish first, because if you finish first, you're going to be going on the road. So it was interesting, man. But he's happy in Seattle. He said nothing but great things about Clint Dempsey, which was a bit of a shock to the hose man because he is. I feel like Joe. Anytime there's like a big star on the men's national team, Joey just like hates them for some reason. Like
Such a hater.
he doesn't like
Come on,
Joe.
man, stop hating.
Doesn't like Josie, doesn't like Clint, doesn't like Michael Bradley. There was a period there where he didn't like Landon Donovan, and
Oh,
and like Joey, you just need to hug somebody, man. But no, he said Clint's one of the best teammates he's ever had. He's a guy that will really kind of go to bat for everyone, and that they really had a really good cohesive locker room this year. So Joey's dad wanted us to bring him on the pod, and then once I mentioned that you are a Timbers fan, he said that he would absolutely be down, but that he would probably say some things in Spanish that we couldn't understand.
well, that's just rude. No, it'd be rad if we could get him on sometime, man. It'd be fun. We could have a fun little banter. No, I mean the Sounders, man. That rivalry is pretty special in MLS. So it's good when they're both good. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened the past 2 years. It's been one or the other. So hopefully this next year they'll both be awesome. Even though Portland lost Donovan Ricketts in the expansion draft, which kind of a big loss for them, but I'm sure they'll find someone.
Yeah, Orlando City picked him up, right?
Yeah, totally. So
Dude,
that was their first pick.
I'm very excited about this Orlando City team. I think that might have to be my MLS club.
Yeah, until the Beckhams get their shit together. Jesus.
Dude, like the way that's going, I would be very, very shocked if there was an MLS team in Miami by the next World Cup. Like, I'd be shocked.
It's crazy. Yeah, you think they could at least like what play in Marlins Park? Even though MLS is so strict about having soccer-specific stadiums now.
God, if they were
But
in Marlins Park, I would probably go to less of their games than I would if they were downtown by the American Airlines Arena.
right?
Like Marlins Park, it converted pretty nicely for the BYU Memphis game. It sits about 30,000 people, so that's nice and all, but I don't know, man. That little Havana drive, dude. That's a bit too cumbersome, you know.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean obviously when the Marlins played at Sun Life, it was from like West Palm Beach. You got like a 45-minute drive down there. Now you're going down to Little Havana. I mean, you're talking like an hour and 15 just one way. And
Yeah.
it's once you get down there, I mean, the parking situation is terrible if you don't have a garage pass and you have to kind of park at one of Little Havana's finest apartment complexes. It's really not that encouraging for someone who has a car that is a 2006 or newer.
Oh, because you're gonna get robbed. That's what you're saying, right? Is that what you're implying?
I can neither confirm nor deny the allegations that you have made, Clifford. But
It's like at my old job. One time, this chick comes in. She's like, "Hey, I couldn't find any like bike parking out front, so I put my bike about a block down. Do you think it'll be safe?" I'm like, "Get your bike right now. Go get it right now, now." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "No, you gotta go get your bike."
and make
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
someone knows you're going to get your bike, and then you text them immediately as you get your bike.
yeah. It was some places, city environments. Dude, we had a bartender at my current job had his bike had like his front wheel stolen from the bike was literally right in front of the restaurant, and we were so busy no one noticed.
That's
So
impressive.
dumb.
And I can't think of any city besides like San Francisco and New York where someone would target a front bike tire, just the front.
Just like, oh, got this later, and the seat, and I got the seat also.
Ooh, well, that ratchets it up a notch. Yeah, you gotta have a seat, right?
Right? Ruins everything.
Yeah,
So anyway, so BYU Memphis, that game ended pretty crazily.
yeah, if you were asking me before the bowl season which game was most likely to involve a brawl, I think you could probably get 500 to 1 odds on the bowl game involving BYU.
Right? Especially you see all the guys like dressed as well. I guess they are Mormons, but they were dressed like cartoon character Mormons in the stands. It was so embarrassing. Like I was like, that's their fan base. Like these people are real.
That was, I mean, when you think of brawls in Miami, you think to the Miami FIU one where Brandon Merriweather comes in stomping people, but BYU had guys like swinging helmets and hitting guys from behind. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, they were coming in.
I try not to overreact to things, but when you talk about like football brawls, usually it's a lot of just pushing and shoving and like jumping around. But this is a legit football brawl. This is one of the better ones I've seen.
Ever. Dude, because the BYU guy who got his eye fucking smashed. I don't know if you saw that punch. As soon as that happened, he was able to get back up. He was just running behind people and punching them in the head. Like, there were so many different sucker punches in this fight. It was crazy.
Yeah, we basically learned that football players like to sucker punch guys. If you're taking anything away from this game, like no one wants to square up, take their helmets off, and go. We are just gonna sucker punch dudes.
Yeah, or swing our helmets from behind. Like, Jesus Christ, man, what are you thinking?
Yeah,
Like,
and
what if you actually hit somebody and you're swinging full strength from behind? Like, come on.
and as much as I, love Jeremy Hill and everything he did for LSU, when Jeremy Hill was suspended, it's because he sucker punched a dude from behind at a bar at Bogies, or not at Bogies, sorry, at God, was it the House? I think it might have been the House. No, I don't know, man. It was either,
Minor detail.
yeah, yeah. Minor. No, it was JL's. It was JL's. Yes, JL's.
Oh,
Anyway,
of course.
I needed to nail that to my LSU cred, but when he sucker punches this dude, he didn't even knock him down. And at that point, I was like, Jeremy Hill, you kind of lost a little bit for me there because you wound up and sucker punched this dude in the back of the head, and homeboy did not go down. So
Right?
we learned something today. Football players will sucker punch you.
Yes, they will. So no more sucker punching, guys. It's not cool. It's just not cool. Oh, and Memphis won the game.
I really liked how Danny Cannell spent about 7 minutes talking about how good Memphis defense was. And, Memphis defense was very good in the beginning of the year. They did tail off towards the end. And then the game proceeded to be 45-45 going into like,
So it blew a massive lead.
like, oh, so Danny Cannell is continuing to troll everyone. Shocker.
Fucking Canal. So many bad announcers.
Dude, I got off work early today and I turned on the Western Kentucky Central Michigan game and it was like 42-13. And usually I would keep that on just because, whatever, it's football. There's nothing else going on television on Christmas Eve. But the color commentators are Mark May and Lou Holtz. Like,
I don't think you hate anyone more on TV than you hate Lou Holtz.
It's like, what's going on the Home Shopping Network? Let me check that out.
And then there was only one of the greatest comebacks in bowl history and finishes.
Yeah, and what was like nearly almost an epic tie. Like, oh my god.
It's so funny, man. Scott had $20 on that game, and he's literally winning it with 1 second left. And a 1st and 10 from the 20. Like Central Michigan's own 20. And he lost that bet. Crazy.
That reminds me of the Georgia-Auburn game last year. I think I've complained about that game on this show quite frequently because I had Georgia on that one, and I think they were like 4.5-point underdogs, and it was tied. And then Nick Marshall just chucks that ball. It's tipped in the air, and then Sammy Coates runs under it and runs for the touchdown. And like before that happened, I'm thinking, whatever, it's tied. Worst that can happen is we go to over. Or no, excuse me, it was 7.5. No, 6.5. And so I'm thinking, all right, worst case scenario, we go to overtime, and I have a pretty good shot here at the 6.5 cover. And then they tip the ball, Sammy Coates scores, and your boy loses. And
you lose.
And you lose. And that's why gambling cannot be fun, because you can be on the right side of things for 58 minutes. And then Central Michigan does like Hail Marys and shit, and it goes crazy.
And then your money's gone. I really need to cash out of my betting account right now. I need to cash out and buy a plane ticket. I have to do that.
Have you been doing pretty well in your basketball bets?
I've kind of tailed off on the betting. Been playing a lot of online roulette, which has been like really back and forth recently. So I've been about even the past couple weeks, which isn't too bad. Maybe down a little bit.
Did you make any bowl bets?
No, haven't yet. Maybe once we get closer to the semifinal games, I'll bet on those. The other bowl games are just like, you just never know, man, in any way, shape, or form. So I just stay away from it.
Yeah, I threw a couple of two-team parlays involving Oklahoma and Clemson. I obviously took Oklahoma as a 3.5-point favorite, but I threw them in a parlay with LSU at 7.5 and Penn State at +3.
I don't hate that. I've heard worse ideas.
Yeah, I have definitely had worse ideas, like the Jacksonville Jaguars being the first team to score and the longest touchdown being 38.5 yards. Fuck you, Jordan Tolman. Who are you?
Yeah, right? I've never seen you play football before.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
The
Never even heard
Jaguars,
your name.
the Jaguars are going to run some sorry reverse for 70 yards and just screw me midway through the third quarter. Thanks, guys.
No. Yeah, fuck betting, man. So, what else is going on in the sports world? Ooh, Oregon State stole Utah's defensive coordinator.
Oh, that's a good
That'd
hire.
be good news. Yeah, like that.
I will. My wife and I have done the college bowl pick'em where it's not against the spread; it's just straight up. But we don't do that stupid confidence points thing. That's just silly. Um, and at this point, we're both 9 for 9. But the thing is that I learned about her. You know how she beat me in the regular season, and I'm just kind of thinking, she might read some game previews, maybe looks at the schedule here and there. No, there's like simulations that she's running on websites.
What?
Yeah, where she's running like the chances of some of an outcome and playing the odds on this. I'm like, did you develop some algorithm that we could get rich off of, and you're just not me?
Yeah, why'd you hold out, yo?
No, I was astounded by the depths of the research, and this just shows the competitiveness of my wife.
I play to win.
Yeah, she plays to win the game.
Yeah. And she won. And she won.
And she won. But no, it's not just like, oh, this team's coming off a bye. I'm reading the team preview. This guy's quarterback is hurt. No. There are statistical simulations that run the game about 100 times and determine the most likely outcome. And if it's in line with what she thinks is going to happen, she takes it. If it's not, she goes with the statistical probability. So I didn't realize I was going up against a pro, and I need to step my game up.
You got your own little personal Nate Silver.
Yeah. Like 538 should really come and talk to her.
Yeah.
I mean, I never expected to be in such a dogfight, and it's quite
Dude, now you know you gotta come correct next year, bro.
dude, you ain't lying, man. Like, apparently, I need to develop my own algorithm, which sounds easy because I'm Asian, but she was always way better at math than I was, so I think I'm in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, you are. You're definitely in trouble.
So, are there any bowl games that you want to talk about? Anything? I mean, we talked a little bit about Oregon, FSU. I think both of us still think Florida State is going to do work against Oregon. Is that correct, or do you think Oregon has a chance to outscore them?
Well, I think Oregon definitely has a strong shot in the game, but I think Florida State, it's a really good matchup for them, and they can be really effective against that secondary, especially now with Oregon's best cornerback being out. I'd try and say his name. It's like Ike something. So I'm sorry, his last name's too hard, like Alpha Broom or something.
He probably would have been the first or second cornerback taken in the NFL draft.
Totally, without a doubt. And so he's out. So that definitely hurts Oregon's chances. But I don't think this game is going to be a blowout by any means. I mean, can Florida State win by 10? Yeah, I think so. But so I'm definitely picking Florida State, but I'm not saying Oregon doesn't stand a chance.
Who do you think's got a better shot at the upset, Oregon or Ohio State?
Is the Oregon game an upset? That wouldn't be an upset, though. I thought Florida State was the dog.
Florida State.
Or just upset
yeah, you're
us.
right. You're right. Florida State is the dog. I guess I just see Florida State as so overwhelmingly more athletic than Oregon. That would be an upset to me, but who am I? I'm a guy who
in our world.
Yeah, I'm a guy who's losing to my wife in college football.
I mean, on paper, Oregon definitely, but Ohio State, Urban Meyer, it's not like he doesn't know Saban. And they have played really strong. They scored 56 points with the third string quarterback. against like what I thought was a pretty decent Wisconsin team and a team whose coach now coaches my alma mater that I'm really excited about. So I think Wisconsin was really good. Okay. Um, so yeah, I guess I got to go with Ohio State, but that's more just like gut feeling sort of deal.
Do you think there was something there though with like Wisconsin's coach knew he was going to take the Oregon State gig and was kind of checked out in that Big Ten title game because it was like very soon after he took the Oregon State job. Like, would it shock you if Anderson knew kind of in the back of his head, he's just like, you know what, like, I'm not saying there was anything sinister at work, but it seems the way Wisconsin came into that game that he really just wasn't all there.
I mean, that could be a very likely scenario. I mean, something had to have happened because Wisconsin's not that bad. So there's just it was kind of like some sort of perfect storm of circumstances that let Ohio State win like that. Because Ohio State hasn't looked that good all year either. So I don't know. Maybe the 13 quarterbacks is the truth. Like that'd be crazy. But yeah, definitely something was afoot with Wisconsin that day.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, I don't think any of us were expecting Cardell Jones to come in and do that. And, you know, I kind of touched on it a little bit last time. Like, Ohio State does have some speed on the outside that can take advantage of Alabama's secondary, but I just don't think Ohio State, with the young defense that they had, I mean, before the Big Ten title game, one of the reasons I went with Wisconsin is because Ohio State's run defense has not been up to the standards that Ohio State usually has. And at this point, I just think between Derrick Henry and TJ Yeldon, like I think Alabama's going to run all over them. I don't know if it's a blowout, but it's going to be a typical Alabama game where it's close for maybe 2.5 quarters, and then a turnover happens or a special teams play, and then Alabama kind of goes on from there.
Very possible. I mean, that's the most likely scenario, is Alabama just wears them down and starts breaking them. And then all you need is one Amari Cooper, slant that he takes for 85 out of nowhere.
Did you agree with the Heisman voting, with Mariota going 1, Gordon going 2, Cooper going 3?
I guess, yeah. I mean, Gordon and Cooper, I mean, really, what's the difference? After Mariota, it was really just kind of like a mishmash. I think Amari Cooper has a chance to be a better pro and is probably a better player, but Melvin Gordon had a great year, so I can't disagree with it.
Are there any bowl games that you're really looking forward to checking out? Any ones that you might be inclined to bet on, or anything of the nature?
Not really. I mean, it's hard to get excited about because now all the other bowls are inconsequential. When you set up this tournament style, unlike all these years past when, well, I guess we had the BCS title game too, but I don't know. It just seemed like the other bowls still mattered a little bit more compared to now, where it's just like, no, only these are the only bowls that matter, no matter what. And the rest are just exhibition games. So I don't know if I'm like too excited about any of them. Especially since Oregon State isn't in one, Michigan's not in one.
The tickets for the New Year's Eve Orange Bowl down here between Mississippi State and Georgia Tech, you can go to that game for $6.
So bad. Yeah. They totally devalued the rest of it.
However, the Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl between UCF and NC State, the cheapest ticket there is like $60. It's crazy.
That's insane. Well, the Oregon FSU, tickets are starting to dip underneath 100. Because what FSU fans coming all the way out to Pasadena just to travel to Arizona or to Dallas? Yeah. Everyone's kind of waiting for the championship game. And you're hurting something like the Rose Bowl, which is only not sold out something like once in the past 20 years when you break up these natural like geographic like rivalries. So
As the resident Pac-12 aficionado, can I ask you a question that's really been kind of confusing me? Is why is Arizona only 3.5 favorite over Boise?
oh, is that a thing?
Oh, it's a thing, my friend.
Oh my God, never mind. I'm not pulling my money out of my gambling account. I know exactly what I'm putting every cent of it on. Is that smart?
Oh, is that one of those where you just, it's one of those too good to be true lines, and Vegas knows something that you don't?
Boise's not good. I mean, I know they ended up ranked, but it's not good. Arizona will be healthy or healthier than they have been in a while. Yeah, dude. I know Boise's like historically played well in bowl games, but this is this guy's first year. I don't know. I'm liking that Arizona line. That's all I'm gonna say.
So you're gonna bet your return plane trip to Florida on Rich Rod?
Oh God, when you put it like that, that sounds so irresponsible. No, no, never mind. I'm just coming to Florida. Never mind.
What about let's talk about Michigan State Baylor Cotton Bowl game between you and I both think Michigan State's a little overvalued. I actually like Michigan State here against Baylor though.
I mean, Michigan State will be physical with them on defense, but I think Baylor's eventually going to be able to break some big plays on them. So I like Baylor in that game.
You like Baylor to cover the 3?
Cover 3? Yeah, I would take that. I mean, Corey Cook's a good quarterback and all, but Michigan State's offense hasn't exactly showed up in big games this year. So.
Are you talking about Connor Cook?
Connor Cook. What did I say, Cody?
Corey?
Yeah. Corey? Oh, Corey Cook. That's one of my old fraternity brothers.
Shout out to you, Corey Cook.
Yeah, what's up? So anyways, yeah, Connor Cook. So yeah, I would totally pick Baylor in that one.
What do you think about the Notre Dame LSU line, though? Because a lot of national people don't think LSU should be favored over anyone by 7.5, let alone a Notre Dame team that actually may or may not be good on offense. That one to me screams of Vegas knows more than us, and they want you to bet Notre Dame. So that's why I threw them in a few parlays. But when you do think about it, I mean, could any Anthony Jennings team be favored over anyone by a touchdown and 7.5?
I mean, Notre Dame was so bad at the end of the year. So bad. But LSU's offense is so untrustworthy. Ugh. Gun to my head, I would take LSU with that line, but would not be stoked.
So what do you think? What excuse do you think I should use to leave work early, since that game is on a Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern time? Give me a good excuse to get out of work.
I don't know. Don't you have like sick days or something? It's like the end of the year. Might as well use them up.
I mean, I'd prefer to not use them if I can just come up with a creative excuse that you give me.
Tell them you shit your pants.
Yeah, I'm going to have to provide proof of that.
Well, shit your pants then. Oh, fucking commit.
Yeah, how big of a Tiger fan are you, dude?
You know, you want to watch the game, just fucking shit your pants. Not a big deal. We've all done it. Everyone's done it before. It wouldn't be the first time in your life.
Yeah, I'm sure when I was 2 years old, like those couples that bring the 2-year-old to your bar, that's probably what I was doing.
Everybody poops, bro.
But the thing is, I mean, when you work in a place that has an Alzheimer's daycare center, is shitting your pants really that good of an excuse? I mean, think about it.
They probably wouldn't even blink an eye, I guess, at that point. They're like, oh. Well.
They might just send me next door to the program nurse to get cleaned up and be like, yeah, okay. You think this is something we haven't seen before?
Well, um, hold on, give me a minute. It's gonna take me a little bit to think of as good an idea.
Okay. Well, you keep working on that because I'm counting on you.
Oh man.
Ole Miss, TCU. What do you think about that one? TCU still a 3.5 point favorite in that game. Ole Miss still has the banged up defense. TCU obviously snubbed out of the top four.
You know, the thing with Baylor and TCU is there's always the opportunity of them coming out really flat because of how disappointed they were to end the season. Um, so, I mean, I like Ole Miss's chances more against TCU than I do Michigan State's against Baylor's. Um, due to that, quasi due to that, and but I think I would still pick TCU.
Do you think TCU covers the 3.5, or do you just like TCU straight up?
I would. I think TCU could cover 3.5 against Ole Miss. TCU can score, you know.
Mm.
And plus, Bo Wallace is Bo Wallace. Even though he could like have one of those random days where he like gets hit in the head and is able to start playing quarterback straight. But yeah, I like TCU.
If Laquan Treadwell was healthy, I would love Ole Miss to run all over TCU, but without Laquan Treadwell to bail out your boy Bo Wallace, I don't know about that.
Yeah, yeah, that's a rough injury, man. Ugh.
Dude, how different would Ole Miss's season been? I mean, that's going into win the game against Auburn, and Laquan
Right?
goes down right there.
Ugh. Just changes everything. So gnarly. Such a good player too. So,
The other one I wanted to ask you about, though, like I've I got them involved in a lot of bets. I like Minnesota as a 6 point dog against Missouri.
oh, dude, I love that. Missouri sucks. Missouri sucks. Right?
So
Am I
there you go.
wrong?
You got Arizona and Minnesota to buy you a plane ticket. Throw them in a 2 team parlay, Scott.
Oh man. All right, I will have to do that actually. God damn it, you're talking me. You're betting on bowl games. Swore I wasn't going to, but I mean those are. Yeah, Missouri lost to Indiana. They're definitely yeah. You said 7 or 6 point dogs. Minnesota is
Minnesota's a 6 point dog.
6. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take that. Maybe tease those two games.
Not a bad idea. I don't know, man. I just like Minnesota can really run the ball, and Missouri's big thing is obviously they have a fantastic pass rush, but Minnesota doesn't throw it. Like I'm not worried about that game. I'm not worried about that at all.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like Minnesota to cover and maybe just win straight up. Wonder what the odds are on a Minnesota straight up win.
I don't know, but I just did Minnesota and Arizona as a 2 team parlay, and if it blows it, I'm blaming you.
Oh, boo. Not my fault. I'm not out there playing.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
I swear. It wasn't me.
So you want to talk a little bit about the NBA? I mean, we touched a little bit on Rondo to the Mavericks last week. The crazy thing is the Mavericks are what, the 8 seed right now?
Yeah, so like they're like somewhere between 6 and 8.
Yeah. Um, the Trailblazers, man, and this is why I didn't want to take you in a preseason in an early season bet between the Pellies and the Trailblazers because the Trailblazers are good.
They are, man. They're second right now. I mean, they're tied in the loss column with the other. Well, the two through four is tied in the loss column. Trailblazers have played a few more games though, so they're only a game and a half back from Golden State. After Golden State somehow blew it against the Lakers, which is like the weirdest loss of the season.
Leggy
Um,
P.
yeah, but yeah, Portland's been playing great, man. Damian Lillard is a beast, and I know no one knows who he is on the East Coast because the Blazers are never on TV and no one ever talks about him. But he went for 46 against the Spurs, and he went for 40 against Russell Westbrook. So
Yeah, what do you have? Eight threes against the Thunder?
Yeah, something crazy like that. Like, and he hit the game tying three. I mean, yeah, OKC was without Kevin Durant, but Portland was without Batum, and Aldridge is playing hurt right now after he had missed a game. Um, but Portland just keeps rising to the occasion. They went to three OTs against San Antonio and blew them out in the third overtime. Um, so they've been playing teams tough, and San Antonio had their whole team that game. Like they really brought it. Tim Duncan played the most minutes he's played in probably like 5 years. I'm really liking their chances. They probably have a trade they can make too if they really wanted to. Um, they could use a better backup three type player, like a 2/3 maybe. I don't know exactly who they could go get right now, but they have some pieces and some expiring contracts where if they felt the absolute need, they could do something. But they're chugging along right now, man. And if their bench can just step the game up just a scooch more, that'd be really good.
I don't know, man. Chris Kaman and Steve Blake are like they're crushing it.
Dude, Steve Blake is just meant to play on the Trailblazers. This is his third or fourth time back, and he always looks best when he's on the Trailblazers.
I just want to throw out when the Nets general manager Billy King traded the pick that eventually became Damian Lillard to the Portland Trailblazers. And keep in mind, this was a number one for Gerald Wallace, which, if you and I are going to talk about the worst trades in NBA history, it's in the top 5.
It's going to be one day if it's not already.
Yeah. He said that we only felt that there were 3 good players in this draft, and Damian Lillard went number 6 to the Portland Trailblazers. Thanks to you, Billy King. And so,
yeah, thank you.
How's Gerald Wallace working out?
Oh my God, I don't even think he plays for Boston. He's just like a bench warmer.
Yeah, the Nets didn't really get much out of him, and then as you mentioned, they traded him to Boston, and that's where it's at. So, could have had Damian Lillard, but.
Right? Coulda, shoulda, woulda. He's so good. It's awesome. So where do you think Josh Smith ends up?
Well, word is he's heading to the Rockets.
Did that happen today? I did sleep until 4 o'clock Eastern.
I know. I hit you up at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I knew it was a little early, but I'm glad we got you. Glad we got you. Good. Even though you said you didn't go too crazy last night, which I
did.
I'm not sure whether I want to believe it or not.
I had to catch up on some sleep.
Life is crazy. But no, it looks like Josh Smith, for all intents and purposes, will be a Rocket because they have a pretty open spot there at the power forward position. Pretty much it was between Houston and Dallas, and Dallas, do they need someone who doesn't play defense and shoots stinky 17-foot jumpers all the time? I don't know.
No. I mean, it could have worked out because they could have just went crazy athletic on teams. But I think the Rockets is a really good fit. Or at least it's more interesting for the NBA season.
Do you think Chris Bosh regrets not signing with the Rockets?
He would have been a great fit. They would have won a lot, Houston's already winning a lot, so how much better would they have been? But I think Chris Bosh really likes Miami, and they paid him a lot of money. And there's no state income tax, and it's Miami. So
there's no state income tax in Texas either, though.
Whoa, bro, enough with your facts, right? No one wants to know things.
Just imagine, though, Houston with Chris Bosh at the power forward spot, and like you mentioned, Dwight Howard's been hurt with a knee injury. James Harden has actually been playing some defense, and
they would have been ill. Would have been great, but I think Chris Bosh legitimately really loves Miami.
Oh, he does. But do you think the Rockets are the favorite with Bosh there instead of what will look like the corpse of Josh Smith?
The favorites? Mm, I mean, they'd be right there. And I don't know. This NBA season is just so nuts when you think about the Western Conference. You know, 'cause you got Oakland, Golden State. But they play in Oakland. It's not my fault. You got Golden State, Portland, San Antonio, Houston, a healthy OKC. You know, if they ever really make it back there. You got Dallas with their line. That's 6 teams right there that are, you know, less, like a centimeter away from each other in how good they are.
The Thunder
So
are the 10 seed today.
and like if they get healthy and make a run, how are you not going to pick the Thunder against in a 7 game series?
How
As a 7 or 8 seed. you know.
how bummed are you if you're Golden State or Oakland, as you say, and you're the 1 seed, and the Thunder lock in the 8? Who do you
Oh my
pick in
god.
that? You got to pick the Thunder, right?
Uh, if both, depending on the health of Andrew Bogut, that would swing that series for me one way or another. So, I mean, Golden State's really good, man. Like, really, really good. They're a really selfless team. They can shoot from anywhere. Um, I think they're definitely going to make a trade. David Lee's been back the past couple of games. And I just don't know where he fits in on this team anymore, especially when you could move him for, something better. Or like something that could fill a better niche. And David Lee was actually in 0-0 the other night, drinking rosé, and he hadn't played. He played 1 game all season, and he's sitting at the bar drinking rosé with like one very good-looking girl and one like really ugly Asian girl, and then like a couple of his boys. And I was just,
Tell me more about David Lee drinking in your bar.
no, he was just like, he was chill, like he was just hanging out, but he's just like drinking rosé. There's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy a glass of rosé from time to time, mainly during the summer though, when the sun's out, not at like 10:30 at night when I'm a very visible human being. Um, and I haven't played a single game all season, and I'm just like sipping on rosé, looking all fucking not tough.
Do you attribute that to him being a Florida alum?
Now I've been a little harsh on him, but due to his health issues and like Draymond Green coming on, I just you could move him for a couple pieces that could really solidify the depth on that bench. So
Would you try to structure a David Lee for Brooke Lopez trade if New Jersey would accept it?
I mean that'd be rad, but I don't think Golden State's in the market for another off-injured center. You know, I think something like maybe Boston, because they'll be able before the deadline they'll be able to move Brandon Wright again, or you got I don't know. There's got to be like some wing players that are out there.
Does Golden State need more wings though?
They I don't know. See, they have so much. Maybe I'm just being a little rough on David Lee because he has only been back a couple games. I mean, they could stand pat, and then you got Iguodala and David Lee on your second unit.
Yeah, I mean
But
you got you got Iguodala, you got Thompson, and you got Barnes. I mean, like, do they need more wings? I mean, I feel like for a league is starved of wings, like Golden State's in a pretty good position with that.
yeah, I guess what they could really use is just a better backup defender at the four. Like David Lee, like yeah, he'll get a bunch of rebounds and he'll score some points, but a lot of his shots that used to exist aren't there anymore. And so if you get someone who could be a little bit better rim protector, because right now they're running with Azili and basically Lee, um, and if Bogut, I would assume their goal from this point forward is just to manage him to make sure he's healthy for the playoffs. But they'll struggle. Because as good as Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are, Steph's not the greatest defender. Klay Thompson's pretty good. So when you have two guards at their defensive level, you really need rim protection, and and that all hinges on Bogut's health, which is a risky proposition.
There's been a lot talked about Thompson and Steph as the greatest shooting backcourt. And I think it's hard to make an argument against it, man. I mean, the way Klay Thompson has improved his game this year, you can actually really make the argument that Golden State, although a lot of luck was involved, they made the right call in not trading Thompson for Kevin Love.
Oh, totally, man. Yeah, breaking up that little duo, and I think that plays a part that they ended up keeping him. Like that just upped his confidence. He got paid, and yeah, they've just been. Dude, some of the shots these guys make, and for how little space and how quick they get it off, it's amazing. It's amazing to watch because I mean they're on, every game's on here, so it's insane. I've never seen such good shooting from a team, like as a whole.
And you mentioned, excuse me, that was very rude. You mentioned their unselfishness though, and anytime you watch a Golden State game, I mean they're all willing to make that extra pass and. When you got guys like Maurice Bates who can step out and hit it, but are also willing passers, like this team, man, like they are a phenomenal defensive team, and a lot is lost in their offensive output. But these guys can defend the ball, and even though Andrew Bogut's out, like they have more than enough to kind of keep themselves going. But like you mentioned, I mean the West is stacked, man. You got like the Spurs in the 6th seed right now. You got the Clippers kind of hanging around, and
yeah, because look they only lost 2 out of their first. They went 20-2 at one point, and they're only a game and a half up. Like, are you serious? That's how crazy the West is.
Yeah, I mean, barring an injury, you think because you have to figure Oklahoma City gets one of those 8 spots, and they're at 10 right now. So you got to figure. The Western playoff race, aside from an injury, is pretty much set.
Right? And then what? We got the Pellies, Suns, and who else fighting for 8th? Well,
Nuggets,
I guess the Thunder, but
Thunder, yeah.
I consider the Thunder like one of the 7.
No, I do too. I think the Thunder are in. I mean, they could even charge up to the 6 or 7 seed, but depending on health, I think the 8 are pretty much set. The only thing that if I'm a Pelicans management personnel, like I know New Jersey's 3 that they're trying to trade are really not that enticing, but if you can find out a way to pull off an Eric Gordon for Joe Johnson swap where you save money on Eric Gordon's deal versus Joe Johnson's deal, dude, I am rooting so hard for Joe Johnson to end up on the Pelicans.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think.
You figured what? You got.
Well, I guess it's better than Eric Gordon. It's definitely better than Eric Gordon.
Anything is better than Eric Gordon. Combining you and I and throwing a jersey on. I mean, Austin Rivers is better than Eric Gordon. That tells you all you need to know.
It tells you a lot. It tells you a lot right there.
You figure what, like Joe Johnson's making like $22 million, Eric Gordon's making around 16.5. You can match that salary pretty easy. Like you figure you throw in Gordon, Austin Rivers, and one other minimum salary guy. Like that matches up. It saves the Nets a few million, gets them closer to being under the luxury tax. And as we all know, Russia's economy is not really doing too hot. So Prokhorov could probably save some money on the luxury tax and not be upset about it. So, dude, I'm rooting hard for the Joe Johnson trade.
Yeah, that'd be a good move for them. I mean, the Pelicans really want to make the playoffs this year.
Well, yeah, we trade a number 1 pick every year in hopes of making the playoffs.
It's so brutal, especially when you have such a young centerpiece. Like, keep your draft picks. Jesus Christ. Ugh, it's annoying.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, anytime you can get Omar a Seek and just throw. I mean, Omar hasn't been too bad. I don't want to make it sound like he's been awful, but when you put him and Davis on the floor at the same time, it's oh, my cat just rubbed himself off the table and fell. But it's a good thing cat and he's trying to play it off like, yeah, I'm just walking around. I'm cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But no, I don't know, man. I mean, the Pelicans, they've just tried. They've tried so hard and they've mortgaged so much of the future to chase that 8 seed. And in the West, you might need 50 wins to make the playoffs, which is insane.
Yeah, that really is, especially when you have the East just being so bad.
Yeah, I
What's
mean the
worse, the
East is
NFC South or the Eastern Conference in basketball?
well, he's gonna blitz me there. The
Just a
NFC
couple of
South is
dumpster fires.
god
NFC South?
awful. I mean, like the NFC South is either going to be represented by Mike Smith or Ron Rivera. So you
Yeah,
got to
it
go
is.
with.
Who are you taking in that game? Straight up.
Oh, Falcons.
Yep, yeah, I kind of have to, which is so bad. It's just like, oh, you guys suck.
I, I I just hope it comes down to like a fourth and something call, and those two. I mean, could you have a better coaching matchup that would promote stupidity than Mike Smith and Ron Rivera? I mean,
I mean, there's going to be some pretty brutal moments on that game.
watching that game is going to be a comedy of errors. It's going to be the complete opposite of watching Bill Belichick and Harbaugh. Like the complete opposite. Like in a
Um,
parallel universe, the game between the Patriots and the 49ers is going to be the Falcons and the Panthers.
Brutal. So boring.
Do you think
Such.
Sean Payton's out in New Orleans?
I don't know, man. It wasn't a good year. Just a kind of like the culmination of like the past few years' troubles. And I don't know if maybe he's run his course. He's been there a long time, right? What's he going on?
About his sixth year, I want to say.
Is that it?
6 or 7.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't. I think they could easily bring him back. I mean, if the Dolphins are bringing back Joe Philbin for no reason whatsoever, then why wouldn't the Saints bring back Sean Payton?
I don't know, man. The Saints they've severely mortgaged their future on going all in this year, and it just did not work out. And the thing that I wonder is how the Saints the best the best kept secret about the Saints is they've been horrible at drafting, and the second round pick from last year, Stanley Jean Baptiste, a cornerback out of Nebraska, he could not see the field over a tandem of a former first round just garbage can in Patrick Robinson and a bunch of undrafted free agents and I think it was a fourth or fifth round pick in Corey White. So
Wait, is Keenan Lewis still in the Saints?
yes, he is. He's been decent, but everyone, but the fact that a second round pick was inactive for all but 4 games and didn't even play in those 4 games. I don't know, man. Their drafting has been god
It's been pretty
awful.
brutal. It's been pretty brutal. They had a lot misses on the D line, misses in the secondary. I mean, Brandon Cooks is the one slight highlight, but he got hurt this year, so we didn't really get to see him.
Yeah, no, Brandon Cooks was great, except they had Brandon Cooks running drag routes when this guy can actually, go deep and can take
Right.
the top off of defense. And they had him running drag routes the entire season, and of course he's going to get hurt doing that.
Yeah. Not the biggest guy in the world.
He's a fantastic player, but one of the biggest problems with the Saints this year is they can't block anyone. And so they have to run these little drag routes, and that's the only thing that is really allowing the offense to move the ball. And now I don't know, man. I mean, I think a lot's been put on Rob Ryan, and deservedly so. But every now and then, man, like Sean Payton, your draft picks, you and Mickey Loomis have not done that good of a job the past few years.
No, yeah, it's yeah, and they're in like cap trouble too, right?
Oh, they're in cap hell, man.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Do you think Peyton should come back?
I mean, I think he should just based on what else is out there. But at the end of the day, like going forward, I mean, the Saints are going to have to make a lot of big cuts. And you got Jari Evans, who's the highest paid guard in football, and he was, I think, ranked like 112 out of 114 this year by Pro Football Focus. And you just got guys that are underachieving, a defense that has just been awful since Greg Williams left. And eventually, this is a terrible division. Like, how did you guys like blow 5 games in the Superdome this year after you blew out Green Bay? Like they blew out Green Bay there.
Right? Makes zero sense.
So,
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I mean, it's crazy though. Like if the Saints got rid of Peyton, the Niners, officially have let it leak that they're letting go of Harbaugh. But who are these teams going to hire? Like, who are they really going to get that's better?
and that's the eternal question, man.
So, it'd be crazy. Because, I mean, Sean Payton would have a job in half a second, I feel like, if they let him go.
Yeah, it wouldn't. I think though, if Rob Ryan is fired, which is very likely, given how bad the defense has been this year, it might take longer than 5 minutes for him to get a job.
Oh, Rob Ryan?
Yeah, because remember when he was fired from Dallas, he said it was going to take him 5 minutes to get a new job, and it took a few weeks.
Yeah, it took a few weeks. It's all right. Rob and Rex will end up together somewhere.
I'm very disappointed that Rex will not take the Wisconsin job.
I know, you're so bummed about that. It's okay. Maybe he'll be the head coach of the Saints.
And the ultimate troll move by the Ben.
That would just be brutal.
So what do you this weekend, man? Louisville and Kentucky. Does Louisville have any shot to knock off Kentucky?
Nope.
Next.
Nope. Like, come on, dude. Have you seen that Kentucky team?
They're 6-1. They're 6-1 to go undefeated all year.
Yeah, dude. Should still get it on that while we can. Did you see what they did to UCLA?
Yes, they took them out behind the woodshed and they taught them a lesson.
I forget who tweeted it, but someone was like, it's like some comedian. He's like, at least 3 people are crying in UCLA's locker room right now, and that was at halftime.
If you're UCLA, you might want to score in the first half if you're going to beat them.
7 points. What? At least, and Daryl Morey, GM of the Rockets, tweeted out, he's like, the good part about watching this Kentucky team is you see how other teams will do other players will do in the NBA. Because they have 10 NBA players, Kentucky.
And
well,
that's
9 now. Yeah.
I was gonna say, and that's after losing their one of their elder statesmen.
Yeah, Prothrius, or however you say his name.
Poitras, Alex Poitras.
Prometheus.
Oh, that's guy.
So anyways, yeah, no man, I don't think anyone could beat Kentucky.
They've won all their games by what? Over 10 points.
Yeah, it has. I mean, Willie Cauley-Stein looks small on that team, and if you put him on most NBA teams, he would look big. Like,
But
it's insanity.
the only thing that's keeping me from taking that 6-1 is everything I've known about Calipari is that he wants his team at some point, no matter how good they are, to be humble. And whether that's some random game in the SEC tournament against a team that just shoots lights out, or it's somewhere along the lines like Calipari has always been one of those guys who will take a small setback if it means working towards the greater goal. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm with you. I mean, this team is number one in every defensive metric. You are lucky if you're scoring 50 against them. And it's going to take an out of this world outside effort to beat them because you're not going to get defensive rebounds. I mean, they crush the glass. So, I don't know. I mean, it makes me hesitate a little bit.
You make a good point. And that makes sense when you're running with, 4 freshmen, a sophomore, and 2 juniors. But this year, this is like made up from like past years, when they're starting 5 freshmen or whatever. But this year, it's just like, why? Why have to take like you're clearly the best team. Like it's not even a competition. I just don't feel like this team has to do anything like that because if they just keep playing the way as talented as they are, they're going to crush everyone.
You think they crush Duke? Number one, I mean Duke's very good offensively. This might be one of Krzyzewski's best starting 5 from an offensive standpoint.
Duke would definitely give them the best game possible. I would not pick against Kentucky. Okafor's amazing, but he'll be going up against 7 other dudes, who are all his size or bigger. So yeah, I just.
All right. Well, I'm gonna find out what the line is here with Louisville and Kentucky. Let's see. What do you think it is before I find it out?
Say Kentucky minus 9.5.
Damn, at Louisville?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Feel free to tell stories about Pigpen over there.
Oh, little Pigpen. He's trying to get in the door. He keeps charging it. But not getting in because he's loud and annoying.
Come on, Vegas Insider. Give me something good.
This is our crack research team at work.
We're obviously very well prepared
for anything that'll come up. We know what's happening.
Yeah. All right, let's see here.
Go to Bovada or something. Oh, you find it? Here we go, folks. Content.
See, that's what happens. You're closer to Silicon Valley, so thank you. Did you find it?
Who, me?
Yeah, you. I thought you said.
No, I can't. I said just go to Bovada or something. I'm sure it'll be up.
I'm on Bovada and I got nothing. I went to Vegas Insiders. Went to 3 sites and I got nothing.
Go to Sportsbook. Sportsbook. It's something weird now. Mm-hmm. So do you think if I ever came back to Florida and interviewed for a job, I'd have to trim my beard?
Where are you applying for your job? Like the Hard Rock or?
No, no. Fucking Hard Rock.
No, I don't think you would, man.
All right. Cool.
Are you trying to break some news, Scott?
Nah, man.
No?
Not at all. It's just a thought I've always had. It's just like, can I get away with having a beard?
No, we all think you would crush it at this Sweetwater place in Boynton. And you would actually have to keep your beard there.
Okay, good. Good.
So I'm at Sportsbook, man, and and said there are no NCAA basketball lines available at this moment.
Oh, boo.
So we'll just guess you're going with Kentucky 9.5.
Yep.
I'll say Kentucky 8.5, and we'll see what happens.
I bet it's higher.
It probably
Even
is.
what I said.
Because I mean, like Montreal Hazel is very good, and he's going to be the toughest matchup that Kentucky's faced all year. But as you mentioned, I mean, Willie Cauley-Stein, they just
I
got
don't even know other names. There's so many of them, and they're giants.
yeah. There's a lot to deal with there. I mean, Carl Anthony Towns too. You know, like you got Towns and you got Stein back to back. Like, dude,
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
just
know.
getting
Like,
smashed. The other team's power forward. You are just getting smashed all game.
yeah, I love Jaleel Okafor, but Carl Anthony Towns might be better than him.
Ooh, bold statement. He might be though, like for reals.
Yeah, if CAT was the focus of Kentucky's offense, he'd be putting up Okafor numbers, but he doesn't need to be. It's crazy.
No,
Well,
it's like varsity versus JV right now, man. That's the way it looks.
all right, man. Well, is there anything else you want to get to? I figure you can you can work on getting yourself back to Florida here if I let you go earlier.
Yeah. I'll look at some flights. Might be down there sooner than later. So
Well, just remember, man, if you want to put everything on that two-team parlay, Arizona.
I could buy all the flights.
Yeah. You could have a private seat for Ray just right there on your flight.
Oh, baby Ray. Ray's gonna love retirement in Florida one day.
Uh,
So, all right, well, yeah. I guess are we gonna talk again before the new year?
I mean, we can. I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, 'cause what's New Year's Eve? Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the most unsure
Yeah.
yes I've given it. Yes?
I'm like, oh, yeah, I think so. I'm not
What are
sure.
you doing for
Yeah,
New Year's Eve?
unplanned as of now. So I'll figure something out the next week, obviously, because that's when it is. And and then there's something on New Year's Day. It's called Breakfast of Champions that starts at 6 a.m. and goes to 6 p.m. So if I call you from Breakfast of Champions at like noon Eastern time, just know I had a good New Year's.
I would expect nothing less for you, and I also wanted to let you know that I did try Red Breast last night, and big fan. It's good stuff.
Oh wait, you kind of tripped out for a second.
I said I wanted to let you know that last night I tried Red Breast.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
and I enjoyed it very much. So thank you for the recommendation.
Yeah, it's like way better, right?
It's very, very good. The bartender did her best to ruin it by shoveling way more ice than was required, but it was
Oh,
still good.
boo.
See, this is why you need to come down here, Scott. You gotta change the culture here.
Ah, I know. There's so much to learn down there for other people. I, I will bring the knowledge. Everyone else can learn.
So I don't know if you saw, but last week we mentioned the long shot odds of me pulling off the back-to-back fantasy football championship. But did you see that despite all efforts by Tom Brady to poop his pants against the Jets, somehow, some way, your boy came out on top.
What?
Yeah.
Fantasy football champion.
Antonio Brown, Calvin Johnson, Jamal Charles, Matthew Stafford. You ain't got shit on Boomtown.
Dope. Big win.
Yeah, man. That's all that money is going to go towards your bailout for when you come to Florida and go a little too crazy.
Dude, I am retired from getting in trouble. All right? I'm retired. Well, legal trouble.
Ray, on the other hand, that guy.
Yeah. That guy, you cannot trust. Okay? Cannot turn your back on him. He stole it. Yeah. It's a wild one. He actually stole my wallet the other day.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I stole my wallet, maxed out my card on catnip and kitty porn. It was awful. He just likes to listen to it, I guess. Really strange noises.
And on that note, folks, we wish you a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year. I can't find the stop button.